Imagine this. You're mopping the gym floor after a long day, just trying to finish your shift quietly. Suddenly, the head instructor, a decorated black belt, calls you out in front of all his students. He laughs, mocks your job, and dares you to spar. What would you do? Stay tuned, because what happened next left the entire martial arts academy in stunned silence and gave everyone watching the most unforgettable lesson of their lives. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button if you love real stories of justice, humility, and shocking turnarounds. It started on an ordinary Thursday night at Iron Fist Academy. The advanced class had run later than usual. On the edge of the mat, James Washington, a quiet janitor of 42 years, was mopping as he always did. For 3 weeks, he had timed his shifts carefully to avoid interrupting lessons. But tonight, the timing overlapped. From the center of the mat, Sensei Derek Mitchell, his black belt shining under the harsh gym lights, suddenly pointed at James. "Hey, you with the mop!" Derek's voice carried across the room. "How about a little demonstration? I bet you've never even seen a real fight." The students laughed uneasily. 8 of them gathered, some glancing at each other with discomfort. James didn't flinch. He kept scrubbing, his voice calm. "I don't want to interrupt, Sensei. Just finishing up so you can continue your training." But Derek wasn't letting go. He barked a loud laugh, the kind meant to entertain rather than amuse. "Everyone look!" He's too scared to even step on the mat. "Afraid the mop handles better than him." Nervous chuckles followed. Some students looked down at their feet. What no one in that gym knew, not even James's teenage daughter, was that the man holding the mop had once been known as Silent Storm Washington, a 5-time MMA world champion. He had vanished from the spotlight 20 years earlier, after an accident in the ring cost the life of his best friend and training partner. He had vowed never to fight again. But sometimes, dignity leaves you no choice. If you're still with me, drop a comment below. Do you think James should walk away? Or finally show Derek who he really is? Derek strutted toward him, arrogance radiating off his every step. "Come on, just a little demonstration. Show my students the difference between a fighter and, well, a cleaner." That old fire stirred in James's chest, a dormant storm awakening. His eyes lifted, and for a brief second, Derek's confident smirk faltered. Something in that look carried weight, a silent threat. "Just a quick demo," Derek pressed on, voice slightly wavering now. "Nothing serious. Just to show them the importance of respect." James set the bucket down. He stood slowly, his movements fluid, balanced, almost too graceful for someone supposedly inexperienced. The students stopped their drills. The gym grew still. "All right," James said at last, his voice calm, almost serene. "But when we're done, you'll apologize to your students. Because tonight you turned their dojo into a circus." Theatrical as ever, Derek tightened his black belt. "Apologize. No, you'll be the one begging forgiveness when I put you on the floor." The room buzzed with nervous energy. None of them yet understood the storm they were about to witness. The hidden past James Washington had spent 2 decades hiding from who he once was. Known worldwide as Silent Storm, he had retired undefeated. His legacy intact, but his heart broken after Tony Hammer Rodriguez, his closest friend, died in a sparring accident. That single night haunted him endlessly. So he walked away, from fame, from glory, from himself. But standing in that gym, mocked for his race, his work, his dignity, James felt the storm return. Quick pause. If stories of hidden legends and dramatic comebacks inspire you, make sure to hit like so more people can hear this one. Students shuffled nervously as Derek commanded them to circle the mat. 8 pairs of eyes locked on the unfolding drama. "Pay attention," Derek boomed. "You're about to see why there's a hierarchy in martial arts. Why there are levels." Sarah Chun, a purple belt in her early 20s, frowned. "Sensei, maybe we should just continue normal training." "It's late." "Sarah Chun," Derek snapped, using her full name as a weapon. "Sit down and watch. You'll learn more in the next 5 minutes than in a month of drills." Sarah bit her lip. James noticed her discomfort, the same look he had once seen in his own sister's eyes, moments before she stood up to injustice. That memory cut deep. His sister Kesha had been taken by stray violence when she was only 17. Another ghost he carried. And now, Sarah's courage lit something inside him. The first move, Derek circled James like a predator. He sneered, "Show us a guard position. Or is that too hard for a janitor?" Laughter echoed, but it quickly died when James didn't move. His breathing was slow, steady. His posture rooted like an oak. "Scared?" Derek taunted, giving James a shove. It was his first mistake. James didn't budge. Derek felt like he had just tried to push against a brick wall. James's voice broke the silence. "Interesting. Been a long time since someone tried that." The tone wasn't angry. It was calm. Terrifyingly calm. If you've ever underestimated someone only to be shocked later, you know exactly what Derek was about to experience. The awakening. Derek attacked first, a sharp jab. But James wasn't there. He flowed aside like water. A straight punch, a hook. Still nothing landed. "Good technique," James said, his voice smooth. "But you tell on yourself with your shoulders." Gasps rippled through the circle. He wasn't just dodging. He was teaching. Frustrated, Derek unleashed a furious combination. Jab, cross, hook, kick. All air, and then James stepped in close. With a simple, effortless motion, he placed his palm on Derek's chest. The next moment, Derek was airborne, 2 meters back. On the mat, stunned silence filled the room. The revelation Sarah, heart racing, whispered as she scrolled her phone. James Washington. Silent Storm Washington, 5-time MMA world champion, retired undefeated. The words hit like thunder. The student's jaws dropped. Derek's face turned pale. He realized he hadn't been sparring with a janitor. He had mocked a legend. James extended a hand to help him up. Derek refused, shame written across his face. "You spent tonight humiliating someone based on their job," James said gently. "But the real question is, would you treat anyone else differently if they didn't have credentials to defend themselves?" That cut deeper than the fall. Sarah stepped forward. "Sensei, I've trained under you for 2 years. But what I saw tonight wasn't teaching. It was bullying." Students murmured in agreement. The hierarchy had collapsed. The transformation. For months after, everything changed. James was no longer just the janitor. Sarah convinced the gym owner to hire him as an instructor. Not just for advanced technique, but for his philosophy of respect and humility. Derek lost half his students. Sarah's discreet video of the janitor versus black belt went viral. His arrogance had been exposed to the world. James, meanwhile, smiled as he stacked mats and spoke softly to new students. "The greatest lesson is this. Never judge a person by appearance or profession. True strength isn't in titles, it's in character. If this story moved you, make sure to subscribe for more real tales of respect, justice, and second chances."